Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Royal Instinct. Today we're going to be looking at a video by Joseph Tsar, however you pronounce it, and he's going to be talking about why people can't articulate the words as well as they think. So let's get right into it.
I read these 6 books on speaking articulately, and I want to share 3 astonishing secrets and 3 resources with you that have allowed me to finally solve my problem of being unable to articulate my thoughts.
Okay. For most people, the reason they can't speak as well as they think is because most people are overthinkers, so they're constantly thinking thoughts in their head, and they're introverts, so they don't really speak out loud. And even if you are an extrovert in today's society, because we're so isolated, and most of the time people are, logged in on their phones, sending messages, texts, emails, working from home, studying from home, they don't have the practice of talking off the cuff, being comfortable with or confident enough being um in their ability to say something profound, or you know in their ability to say something that's good. A lot of people are worried, oh, what if I say something stupid, and that fear usually is something that holds them back. But let's see what this guy's got.
The first secret is to share more connotation. Connotation refers to the multitude of experiences, emotions, associations, memories, meaning, and images that are packed behind our words. Let's visualize this. If someone speaks about war, that idea of war is the representation of many feelings passing through their mind. They may have seen war, read about war.
Another reason why people don't articulate as well as they think is they really haven't. They've got a bunch of ideas in their head, but they never constructed an argument. Which is why if you listen to someone who is very knowledgeable on a certain subject, maybe they've written a book, articles, or they've journaled their ideas just for themselves. And because once you write it out, you can see you're actually putting your thoughts into a line that makes sense, right? And you could write something and it doesn't make sense, but once you write it out, then you can craft the sentence better. And then once you crafted your idea into a sentence, now it's much clearer in your head, right? Because you might have this feeling for an idea, but until you refine it, right? And then also, when we construct the sentence, for example, it's like we make a statement, then we explain the statement to get to a deeper level of understanding. And a lot of people in today's society, who writes with a pen and paper anymore? Do you get what I mean? A lot of it, we're just copy and pasting memes. Um, and this ability to construct sentences, articulate ideas, you know, we live in a time where the elites are about to take over. They're going to put a stranglehold on algorithms. They want you to be stuck at home, not progress. They want to deplete you of your resources. And we have a small window of opportunity where you could join the elites. You can become an elite yourself. Why is that important? Because the best opportunities in life go to the elites. And the way we do it here is, we become subject matter experts in our fields, which is why you need to articulate ideas clearly. You need to be a point of authority, garner a following, be someone who's important, and then all the opportunities will come your way anyway. The best friends, the best business deals, and the hottest women. And then you because you do this via becoming a subject matter expert, you'll be very confident in your ability to think clear, to speak clearly, and it just becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy at that point.
Or watched war films and know that people associate war with tragedy and death. The combination of all these various elements creates the language of the mind, what psycholinguist Steven Pinker called mentalese. Speaking is our attempt of translating mentalese into the low bandwidth mechanism that is the spoken word. Our listener receives those words and unfolds them into the experiences, associations, emotions.
You know, all words and communication, the reason they exist is because you have to understand every person in the world has their own reality going on in their head. And to transfer and show your reality to another person, you can never show another person your reality. You could only explain to them in a language that they understand and allow them to interpret what you're seeing in their way. So you have your brain and your thoughts here. Sorry, your brain and your thoughts here, right? You then speak it in a common language, right, into their brain over here, right? So you can't directly communicate brain to brain. It goes via a mechanism of language, right? And if you both have, you know, even English, right? You can have a person, a British English and an American English, right? Speaker, even though it's the same language, is a different interpretation of it, right? So a lot of ideas can get lost in translation, as I say. So every person in their own head has their own reality, and language is the vehicle for you to attempt to explain what you're thinking. And the better your understanding of the language of a subject is, the better you're able to explain what's going on in your universe, your head. And when you allow someone to have a glimpse of how you think about a certain subject, about life in general, you become very interesting, because we're all quite. You might be in a crowd, right? You might be with people, but you're very alone, because you're trapped inside your own head. You're trapped inside your own thoughts at all times. So it's very attractive to us, appealing to us, to be able to know how another person thinks. You know, even me. I remember a couple of years ago, like I had the question. I was like, how does a happy person think, or how does a successful person think? You know, I'm someone who's always when I was younger, even in my 20s, I had a lot of self doubt about myself. I wasn't too sure about myself, felt inadequate, and I thought, if I didn't have all these fears or irrational thoughts about my shortcomings, um, how would I be then, right? And then it led me to the thought of, well, a person who is very confident in themselves and who's never had those setbacks, or you know, those things that I considered wrong in my life happen to them. I was like, well, how do they operate in life? Do you get what I mean? Like, how does their brain function? How does a brain function that doesn't have any fear? And you and if someone was to say, "Oh, this is how it is," I'll listen. Be like, "Oh, okay. What do you have to say? Like, please tell me," because I'm so curious to see the mind of someone else that has something, the type of life that I want. Um, you know, it's why people are looking for leaders, because they doubt themselves, and then if you're able to articulate more expertise in a subject, in a way of doing things, in a better life, for a better life, then you automatically rise to the top and you garner a following that way. And if you want to be successful now in the future, you know, in the age of AI, you're going to have to be able to articulate clearly your ideas and be able to present them to a mass audience. And people are looking for a leader, so this is the perfect time, and you only have a small window of opportunity where you can jump in, take advantage of this. And I suggest that you pick something that you have a passion for, something that you're interested in, and become the point of authority for that subject, become a subject matter expert, get famous, make money, and live the life that you deserve. Live the life of a king, and then alongside me, we can build our kingdoms and take over the world.
Memories, and images that word has for them. Think of this process like a musical composer experiencing emotion and channeling that emotion into writing sheet music. An orchestra conductor can read the sheet music and guide the orchestra in transforming those static notes on page into a live.
So, again, if you are able to articulate your ideas and present them to people, you become the composer, right? You're orchestrating the orchestra, right? Like you're at the front leading, right, an army of people to a better life of what you envision. Okay, the people that watch my content, they're good people. They hope for better life. They wish for better life. They haven't had the easiest time, possibly. They've seen the injustice. They've experienced it, and they have a clear idea of how they can make things better, but they don't have the confidence to go out there and do it. And that's why the people I work with, we try to find out how they can help humanity, how they can help the people to live better lives, and turn them into a leader who's capable of being the leader that they wish they had when they were going through a tough time. Um, but that leader wasn't there for you, so now it's up to me and you together to become that leadership figure, to become that almost like a father figure, and kick out all the evil wrongdoers and elitist people, and will become the new elites, with better intentions for humanity. We're not going to be greedy cunts. We're definitely going to enjoy ourselves, definitely, be billionaires, trillionaires, and but it's not all going to be all just take. I think we should because AI is coming and they're going to make many people obsolete. I'm going to make a video about this soon, but just a little, I had a thought in my head. That we as humans used to be the hunted, right? When we back in hunter gatherer days, we were just these small Homo sapiens running around, getting chased by lions and scared of tigers or bears or whatever, right? But then we became the most powerful creature on Earth, right? And how do we do it, right? One on one, right? Even me, right? Maybe I'm the only person in the world who can beat a lion. But could you beat a lion? Probably not. Okay, me with my bare hands, I could, because I'm just built that way. But you would get mauled by a tiger like that, right? A lion could eat you, yeah, with 2 bites. Okay, but we put these fucking creatures into cages, right? And it wasn't because we're stronger, right? It's because we were more intelligent, right? We had more brain power, and what happened to lions is very quickly going to happen to humans, because AI is going to come and take over, right? And whoever can process information quicker, which is what thinking is, um, whoever can strategize quicker, which AI can, is going to be the ultimate winner. And AI, is going to create its own robots. They're going to put us in cages. They might put us. They're going to put us in labs where they, you know, test out what the fuck is wrong with these humans. How can we make these humans better? Instead of fucking having lab rats, there'll be lab humans. Okay. And I don't want that for you, which is why I'm on the mission to make it to the top, to become an elite, so I can at least oversee all this AI shit, right? I'll be the decision maker, right? I'll make sure that that there's ethical clauses built into the AI where we don't get fucked over as a civilization. Klaus Schwab's and his little gangster crew, they don't give a fuck, right? That if they inject you with something from Pfizer and it goes wrong, they don't care, right? Like, they write into the legislation that, oh, this was a trial, and this was an untested medication, and we won't be held responsible for you taking it, right? Even though that they recommend that you take it. So it's in my interest to make it to the top, to be a king, to build my kingdom where I'm safe in my kingdom, and I suggest you do the same, right? And then it'd be, I'm looking for 100 people, and there'll be 100 of us, all building our kingdoms, being, forming friendships, forming alliances, living the best life possible, having the hottest women, having the best business opportunities. We won't do business amongst each other, and we'll kick out and take over all the evil wrongdoers, all these companies, like BlackRock, that are literally squeezing people and ruining lives. You know, it could be you. If you don't do it, you're gonna get fucked over, and you're gonna be put into a cage, and you just don't even know it. You'd be like, oh, this guy. I was watching his Royal Instinct channel. He's talking a bunch of nonsense. I'm like, okay, right, you've been warned, right? Don't act surprised when you're in the fucking cage, right, and you don't understand the world around you, right? That's what lions used to think. They used to think, we used to run this show, and how the fuck are we, right, outnumbered, right? The types of lions that are left on planet Earth right now, although they're big, there used to be bigger species of lions, right? Which because of the Roman Empire, they used to hunt them down and put them into the Colosseum for gladiator matches, right? So the gladiator would fight that lion, and there used to be massive, massive lions around on Earth before, during the Roman times. They don't exist because humans hunted them, right? A creature much smaller, much more less in body weight, weighs probably like a third or quarter of what a lion weighs. Put that beast into a cage, and made it look like a fucking pussycat. So if that's what you want, right? If you want to be a little pussycat, then I suggest you, yeah, just sit back and enjoy the show. It's gonna be a good show. You're gonna get your Netflix, you're gonna get your Domino's pizza, you're gonna get your McDonald's, eat your fast food, and just enjoy the show. But me and my crew, we're going straight to the top. We're gonna be making all the decisions. And we might spare you. We might feel pity for you, and you know, but wouldn't you much rather be by my side, fight alongside me, and become the king that you were destined to be? But anyway, let's get back to this guy.
Lively, powerful performance of Beethoven's Symphony No. 5. The emotions that we experience listening to this live music cannot possibly be represented by simple black and white notation on paper. Frustration with articulation occurs when we expect our connotation to be fully represented by our words and transplanted somehow in our listener's mind, which is frankly an impossible ask. Translating our 4D thoughts into what really are 1D words requires compromise, which often results in that familiar sensation of not being able to express ourselves satisfactorily.
Yeah, so that disconnect is puts a lot of fear into people, because you realize that, oh, I've got this quite a genius idea in my head, but I can't articulate it. And then you might be in class, you might be at a conference, at work, in a meeting. You'd be like, oh, let me give my idea. And there's just some clown who's just, maybe he took a fucking drama class when he was at school, right? And he's just better able to express himself, right? He speaks with much more conviction, much more authority, and his idea might not be as good as yours, right? But just because that person articulates himself a little bit better, you doubt yourself, right? and he goes on to win and get that promotion or the accolades or whatever, right? Like even politicians, like some of these politicians 100% underqualified for what the fuck they do, right? Like people like Rishi Sunak, like would you trust? Like Donald Trump isn't a politically minded person, right? He's just someone that he literally is a showman, right? Like he's an actor. He's very good at speaking and riling a crowd. He knows what to say, right? You know, make America great again, right? Just it's a stupid fucking slogan, make America great again, right? Well, at what point was it great? Right? Why is it not great now? And how do we get back there? Right? It's literally that's his political campaign, right? And people believe in it, right? People believe in it that they, right? In America, right? I actually like Trump, so I don't give a fuck. But in America, if you say you're a Trump supporter, people think you're racist. Okay, like that's how much they hate him. They connotate a whole um movement of anti-black, anti-ethnic minorities to this one guy just because they hate him, right? It's you know, there, there's people out there that can do a better job than Donald Trump, okay? But they don't because they're scared and they don't know how to speak and articulate their thoughts properly, right? The way you can go about this, right, is if you need to practice speaking, right? If you even if you practice half an hour every day, okay, 20 minutes every day, right, you'll become a better speaker, right? Think about a topic in your head or write out a little. You don't have to write out a word for word script, but just a topic that you know something about, okay? And I suggest you become someone like Donald Trump, become who's famous. So become famous, right? Become, and if you become famous, you can then maybe become the president of America of the United States, become the prime minister, the next prime minister of the UK, or whatever country you're from. Be that country's leader, right? So first of all, you need to become someone who's famous, right? Garner that attention, okay? And the best way to do it and to become an articulate public speaker is to become a subject matter expert, okay? So you're researching something that you're passionate about, something that is of interest to you, and you learn as much about it as you possibly can. As you're learning, you'll feel more and more confident in your ability to understand that subject. And every day, as you're doing these learnings, right, you're reading a book, you're doing research, you're coming up with your own ideas and testing them in essays or however you want to do it as you're journaling. Just take your phone out and look into the camera directly and practice speaking what you learned that day. Just say out loud, "Oh, today I learned this," and then do it in a way where just imagine how you would talk if you were the king of the world and you're addressing your audience, and you explain to people, like, for example, if if you're really into science and you understand how the universe is constantly expanding, for example, okay, um every day, right, you're researching the subject every day. Just be like, okay, today about physics I learned this, today about solar systems I learned this, today about the speed of light I learned this, actually Einstein's theory of relativity doesn't account for these things. Just 10 minutes every day, 5 minutes every day, just a short little video update, right? Slowly you're documenting your progress, right? You're documenting your learnings, and then you'll what you'll notice is you've got more and more things to say as you gain more knowledge. Next thing, like, trust me, you'll be making half an hour videos, 1 hour videos, right? Like that, like it's nothing to you because you're so well rehearsed, well read on your subject that you are the expert on. As you gain an audience, you'll be seen as an expert, right? You'll be seen as a point of authority. Okay. Once you're that authority and you have a following, you are in essence famous, right? You'll be able to write books, you'll be able to give speeches, be a consultant. People will come to you for your opinions, um, and then wouldn't it then be easy to make money? If you were the expert on the universe expanding, right? Like the next logical place where you'll be is on Joe Rogan's show, giving an explanation of explain to Joe Rogan what your findings were for the last couple of years. You know, if you want to be the top circles, if you want to be the elite circles, if you want to be part of the decision making class, you're gonna have to, it's only fear that's holding you back. Okay, it's only fear that's holding you back. Once you get over that fear and go towards something that you are truly passionate about, right, life will feel easy. Okay, you'll be living life on easy mode at that point, and that's what I want for people. That's what I want for my friends. I've tried to help many friends in the past before. A lot of them, they have their own ideas about how they want to live. I'm like, all right, great, okay, you do you. All right, I'm starting afresh. I'm looking for 100 people who are the same page as me, who have the same vision as me, right? Right. That there's nearly 9 billion people in the world, right? I'm sure I can find 100, okay, to fight alongside me, to build our own kingdoms, to be the kings that we deserve to be, to become the rulers of the world, and live happy and fulfilled lives. Okay, guide humanity to a better tomorrow. If you want to be part of that journey, then go to royalinstinct.com.
Close. This invites the question, how can we communicate obvious? This often brushes over the connotation that makes our thought feel rich and real. Here's a list of the common blue sky words and phrases that we unconsciously default to that lead to our sentences feeling lethargic and lifeless. Instead, ask yourself this question. If I had to defend this thought as being my thought.
See, this guy is telling you to widen your vocabulary so you can describe things better. But that's not where the problem lies. The problem lies in wherever you are, right? If you can't articulate correctly at the moment, if you can't express your ideas properly, if you're not comfortable speaking out loud, if you don't have a big vocabulary, right? You have to go into that area of fear. You have to go into past your comfort zone and just test out your ideas. Be like, okay, I believe things should be done like this, and then you explain that idea, and then as you're explaining it, people are still not understanding it. Then you have to think of a way of how to explain it differently. As you're researching and reading, you are increasing subconsciously how to describe things better. You're increasing your vocabulary, and you're getting new ideas and having new epiphanies of how to explain things that will make more sense. But that won't feel like work to you because your brain is now trying to solve that problem, and the brain loves to solve problems. Okay, like give it a fucking puzzle, right? And it will just be like, oh, I gotta get this, I gotta get this, and because it doesn't feel like work, right? It will feel like a challenge, but it won't feel difficult, right? You'll be happy and engaged, and that's when you reach that elusive flow state where work becomes easy, right? And as you're putting in this effort, right, which doesn't feel like work at all, you'll automatically become better at articulating yourself, right? It's just a byproduct. Anyone who's an expert, right, automatically can speak. It becomes better spoken, more well spoken, can articulate their ideas because they have to in order to explain to the other person what ideas are in their head. And if you're a subject matter expert, you have a lot of ideas in your head that need to come out. And when you have the ability to do that, you become the point of authority on that subject. In essence, famous, and that's when you are building your kingdom and living the life of a true royal.
What details would I highlight that most people wouldn't know about? These details, descriptions, access more of the connotation that surrounds your thought in your mind and leads to greater satisfaction with your speech.
So, I mean, this guy, he's I guess he means well. He means well in essence, that he's like, describe those ideas better to people. Increase your vocabulary, increase your ability to articulate better. But how do you do it, right? So are you gonna fucking read a whole dictionary? It's like, no. Pick your goal, which is to become a subject matter expert in something that is of interest to you, right? You, in reaching that goal, as a byproduct, become better at articulating ideas. It's just a byproduct that will happen naturally while you're on that journey. So it's very easy, right, for you to be a charismatic speaker, to be more intelligent, to be seen as someone that's very knowledgeable and important, okay, by people. Women will think that you're a genius, right? People will want to be your friends because, who doesn't want to be friends with an expert? You you'll reach the top, you have more money, you'll be living like a king. Other kings will want to be your friends. It's like, this is the most direct route to achieving your full potential, essentially, right? If that sounds of interest to you, if that's, if you feel like that's the type of life that you want, and this is a small chance in history that you have, okay, the elites will stop this very soon. AI will take over, so you won't have a opportunity like this in 3 to 4 years. You have to start, now, literally, like in the next if you don't start within the next 2 years, get in on the ground. You've already fucked up. Really, I mean, AI is advancing so fast that even by the end of 2024, or the end of this year, we don't know where we'll be, right? So you literally, you have, I would say, this year you need to start documenting your journey on becoming a subject matter expert. And if you want to, have success, if you want to work with me, to build with me, then I suggest you hit me up. Go to royalinstinct.com. You can get on the mentorship with me, and then we can work together to find out your strategy of how you will conquer the world. But that is it for today. Until next time, this has been Royal Instinct.